We are the odd couple, though. Let's big news yesterday, Rob, and Drew Brees. You know, and I don't know if it's a surprise or not to people because we thought, after the season, it was reported that he was going to retire. And then, he kind of denied it or at least left it hanging for a while.
Yeah, which I didn't understand either. Right.
Was he? I don't know if he was having second doubts, if he wanted to announce it himself. So he, put some distance between the report.
Or maybe the team said, you are retiring. Hello?
True.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think they were ready.
Yes.
I would be. As great as Drew Brees was, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. We all know that. I'd be ready to move on if I was them. I want to see what Jameis does with them, and I think they do too. And then you got Taysom Hill, is coming in for his little specialty plays.
Yeah, I think that I'm with you. I think the team was like, okay, because he did kind of hedge after we all knew he was going to retire, because NBC had the job lined up for him, Chris, which he announced today that he's going to be a studio analyst for NFL and then going to do color with Mike Tirico on the Notre Dame games. And this is all just setting up for people who don't know that Al Michaels, from what I'm hearing, is going to retire after
this year. After
the Super Bowl in L.A.
After the
Super Bowl in
there.
L.A., Chris, next February, which I think ABC, ESPN, NBC has, that Super Bowl, which is in L.A. where Al Michaels lives or whatever, that he wants to do that game there. And then I think that's it. And then Tirico, when he left ESPN to go to NBC,
he wasn't going there to be a perpetual backup. Exactly.
No, was for this job to replace Al Michael. And I think when they replace Al Michael, I think that's when they bring in Drew Brees and they become partners, don't you think?
Instead of Collinsworth. Well,
I just
might
think the way
depend on
that
how
it's
Brees
lined up.
does. It is lining up for that. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of people are saying that's the case. I
when
think
you make
Collinsworth is really good.
No, he is very good. But when you make a new
we'll
team,
see what
though,
Drew
Chris,
is like.
Usually you want to bring in a new team is what I'm saying.
Right. No, I get it. And you're right. It's certainly lining up that way. And also, Brees, we've seen it, Rob, the last several years, even as he's had great regular seasons, he would fade. You know what I mean? As the season got longer and deeper into the year, even though he'd be injured at times, he'd come back and he would kind of fade. And look, everybody's not going to play till they're 45 years old, 43 years old, whatever. So good for him. And he'll move on. And here's the thing with Jameis, because we're going to get into Drew, really. That's going to be the meat of the conversation. But the thing with Jameis, Rob, and it won't happen with everybody, and it may not even happen with him. When Drew Brees went to New Orleans, you know this, he was viewed as a bust. He had not done what San Diego expected him to do when they drafted him, and he had the shoulder injuries. He failed the physical in Miami because of his shoulder. I was going to say,
he was supposed to go there and failed, and so that never happened. That was when Nick Saban was there. When it all fell apart right there for Saban and the Dolphins.
Yeah, and so my point is just that we are now kind of in this phase where a lot of these quarterbacks, or some of them, are stepping in right away and playing well. And if a guy doesn't play well in his second, third, fourth year, which didn't used to be a death penalty, now it's kind of viewed that way. Like if you,
changed.
He hadn't. Yeah,
things have changed from the standpoint that there are no 5-year plans. Coaches used to get that.
Right.
That's out the window.
True.
That's why they used to wait.
You used to be able to have patience with a guy.
Right, and be like, okay, he's our quarterback. We're going to ride him out. I mean, and I'm just saying this.
And also the contract situations where it's like at about 4 or 5 years, or really even sometimes after 3, you have to decide, is he our guy? And you got to pay him big money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's another thing.
That's how a guy like Matthew Stafford could play 12 years in Detroit and not win a playoff game. Seriously. Like those days are over.
Because he looked good enough where you had to re-sign him initially.
Right.
And, we'll see what he does in L.A., but my point is that Saints fans may try to grab hold of that and say and apply it to Jameis Winston. Like, hey, Drew Brees was struggling, before he got to New Orleans, and Sean Payton helped him become a Hall of Famer. let's see what he can do with Winston. Because Winston's shown signs. There's no denying that, Rob.
We saw the big touchdown he threw against the Bucks. That was the only ball they got down the field.
I think I could have thrown that touchdown, but
that
still,
was wide
you're right.
open. But, I mean, they got nothing else. They got nothing else downfield, though.
Very true. Very true. Very true. They did nothing else that game. So that's the thing. But here's what we really want to get to, Rob. Drew Brees is, as I said, first ballot Hall of Famer, all that. And he's the all-time leader in passing yards. Second to Tom Brady in passing touchdowns. I mean, he's got all types of records. 13-time Pro Bowler. But, Rob, he's not in my top 10. And I've got a Dan Marino who never won a Super Bowl ahead of him. I don't consider – he is an all-time great, and as I said, first ballot Hall of Famer. But I don't think he's on that upper echelon of quarterbacks. Like there's an elite of the elite that's maybe just a handful of guys. And I don't put Brees there with Brady, with Montana, with Aaron Rodgers. I put Rodgers up there. Some may not, but John Elway, guys like that. Where are you at on Brees? And I got another question. Depending on
probably, I think if you're honest and you're not just a prisoner of the moment, and what I mean by that is you're looking at Johnny Unitas and guys like that,
yes,
Chris.
He's up there
because he has to be. And I know people try to discount him. Bart Starr, who was a big time quarterback for the Packers, they don't have all those numbers because they used to run the football a lot, but they were great quarterbacks.
Otto Graham.
I mean, let's just be honest. Those guys, we can't discount them. They played a different game back then, but those guys were stars. So I think Drew Brees, despite the records that he does have or close to the top, I'm with you. I think I could pick 10 quarterbacks first, and Drew Brees would be in my next 10. But I wouldn't have them. I could think of 10 guys right now who would be better. And Dan Marino, even without a Super Bowl, I agree. Dan Marino, to me, I would take over Drew Brees.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And here's the thing about Brees, and this is what, his supporters may push back on. Rob, he's got 5 seasons of 5,000 or more yards. No other quarterback has 2. All right, Brees did lead the league in touchdowns 4 years. So his numbers are out of this world. But I think the reason he's not viewed, as one of those, like you said, top 10 quarterbacks, I think the way it went for him initially in San Diego, I think that sits in the back of people's minds that he didn't come in and even within the first few years light the league on fire, was viewed as a bust, didn't bounce around. That wouldn't be fair to say, but still went to a second team, tried to go to a third team. Yeah, found a home in the Saints. And then, Rob, despite having a lot of great seasons, they also had a lot of mediocrity, a lot of losing seasons under
Didn't they
Brees.
have 3 years in a row where they went under 500?
7 and 9. Yeah. One was 7 and 8 under him, but 7. So he had, as the starter, we know he was there 15 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years that were losing records. And another 8 and 8. So usually when you get like a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, a Joe Montana, when they were in their primes and healthy, they won. They might not have won the Super Bowl, but they were winning. Aaron Rodgers, same thing. John Elway, they were winning tons of games. You know what I'm saying? They were in the playoffs. You could book it before the season, and you can blame the defense and some other things his teams may have lacked. But the fact is, the greatest of the great, Rob, they found a way to get their guys there.
Yeah, I think it's partly that. And then of late, the postseason, he won that one Super Bowl, but the postseasons aren't great. I don't even know what his real numbers are. But
I think he's 9 and 9 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're that magical.
Yeah, 9 and 9.
Yeah, see, and I think that's a part of it. And even the numbers, I mean, I'm not discounting the era that he played in and taking advantage of the running backs where he could just dump the ball off, Chris. Like the dink
Well,
and
that
dunk.
certainly helped the completion percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what he's not throwing the ball. And I'm not saying he doesn't throw the ball downfield at all, but I think he had a lot of receivers where he could just get it to them and they run 20 yards. So I don't know.
I agree. And so I think those are reasons. Now, I'd be interested in your answer on this. I do also have him ahead of, he only got to one Super Bowl. Won, got to one. But I've got him ahead of some guys that have won two. I got him ahead of Ben Roethlisberger. I got him ahead of Eli Manning. Where are you on those guys?
Wow. I don't know if I could put him ahead of Ben or Eli, to be honest. And I know
Eli? Wow.
I think he has.
You love Eli, man.
I just do. I love Eli from the standpoint of this, that he performed in some of the biggest games, and he's in the top 10 in yards and touchdowns, Chris. So it ain't like he's not. I mean, like, I know his record isn't great.
Some of that's error, but yeah.
Right, but it is, though. Yeah. If he was underneath that, say he was top 20 in yards or whatever, then you could look at it and say, okay, he got the 2 Super Bowls. But he played 17 years in his top 10 in passing yards and in touchdowns. I don't know how you discount top 10 numbers wise.
Well, no, okay. You're not saying he's a top 10 quarterback.
No, but I'm saying being top 10 in those categories.
Right.
Passing yards, touchdowns,
and then
the 2
Super Bowls.
The 2 Super Bowls and the 2 Super Bowl MVPs and 2 signature throws. And he beat the Patriots twice, and he beat Tom Brady twice, and he beat the 18-0 Patriots. I mean, wow.
Nah, I hear you. I think the other years, though, that outside of those two, and look, that's 2 Super Bowls.
No,
but,
I get it.
He didn't have a lot of playoff success. But yeah, look, that's a fair comment. There's no doubt about it. Is Drew Brees a top 10 quarterback? If so, why? If not, why? Your turn to weigh in.
All right, Chip in North Carolina. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Chip?
Hey, good evening to y'all. I've just started kind of tuning into the Odd Couple because I'm not normally riding around at night, but now that I am, I'm checking you guys out. I appreciate the show. You're doing a great job. So,
thank you, Chip.
Now, what in the world is this foolishness about Drew Brees not being a top 10 quarterback? Are y'all kidding?
I'm telling you. Well, Rob, he got the spirit of the show pretty quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
He jumped in.
Okay,
all right, I like your spirit, though, but you're wrong. I can name right now, I can give you 10, and I defy you. I want to hear you put Brees ahead of one of these guys. Tom Brady.
Go ahead. Let me start with your. Okay, go ahead. You go down.
Tom Brady. Okay, this isn't an order, but Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Roger Staubach, John Elway, Dan Marino, Otto Graham, Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre.
Now, of
and
course,
I may have even missed somebody.
Of course, we're in a generation where you can't fully appreciate an Otto Graham and
it don't mean that he didn't play well.
That base done gone. Where's that base at that you started your call off with?
I'm coming. I am coming. I promise you I'm coming.
All right, Chip. All you got to do is name somebody you're taking off the list. Let's do it like that.
Dan Marino is off the list.
Stop it.
Dan Marino.
Did you just start watching football in 2001?
I know, right? Dan Marino is considered one of the greatest quarterbacks who ever played.
And Dan Marino's playoff record is 8-10.
And guess what?
Okay,
Drew Brees
is 9-9.
So
okay,
there's one game difference.
So he's up a game on him with a Super Bowl. And the man leads the league in yards, and the man has had a 5,000 yard seasons, and the man is number 2 in all-time touchdowns. What in the world are y'all talking about? I'm not a New Orleans Saints fan. I do have a best friend. He's from New Orleans, so I have to live vicariously through all of his New Orleans stuff. So I get some of the Breeze stuff.
Chip, thank you, Chip.
Good case,
appreciate
Chip.
it. We appreciate it.
Good
Greg in Montana.
Again.
Yeah, let's do that. Greg in Montana, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, we love you in Montana, Odd Couple, but I had to pull over. I was driving home from work.
He almost crashed.
Wow.
Rob
He's
Parker
another
says
one that disagrees with us.
He's going to take Eli Manning over Drew Brees? You got to be kidding me.
I'm with you on
Eli
that
had
one.
a 2-10 season.
Ridiculous.
Hey, he also beat the 18-0 Patriots.
Okay, so that gives him one. He got
No,
two
it
rings.
don't give
I'm not
him one. I'm just telling you that's a feather in his cap. Seriously.
Okay, so hey, and my vote for the guy who just said you take Brett Favre off. How many interceptions did Brett Favre throw in his career?
He's the all-time
I know
leading interception guy, no doubt.
Exactly. So you take him off the list and you put Drew Brees at 10.
So you
How
got
many
Brees
MVPs
at
did Drew Brees win? Chris?
He got a Super Bowl.
One. He won one, didn't he?
How many?
Did he? No. Did Brees?
No.
Brees never won an MVP.
MVP.
Never won
Hello.
MVP. He got a Super Bowl MVP.
MVP's not nothing.
What do you mean? Come on, Greg. You mean to tell me he played 20 years and he was never the best quarterback in the league? Ever?
It all depends who else or who did he play
and here's
against.
another one. I don't know if I mean, Terry Bradshaw's numbers weren't all that, but 4 Super Bowls? Legendary teams?
And you don't even have him in the top 10.
I didn't even mention him.
He ain't even in the top 10.
You know? He maybe should be in there. All right.